Okay, so in the previous video, we saw this exact same scenario for a company called Panamint Systems Corporation. However, in the other question that we worked through, we were asked a different question. Okay, so we have some facts here related to our activity cost pools, our estimated activity cost, and our activity base / cost driver. Okay, so just to we did this on the other video, but I'm labeling this little column here activity cost pool. We've got 5 of them in total. Our estimated activity cost is labeled pretty well, and then our activity base / cost driver column. Okay, and what the previous question asked us to do was to determine the activity rate for each of these cost pools. There are 5 of them in total. Okay, and we did that. We added up, for example, the total number of purchase orders. We came up with 20,000, and we divided that into $370,000 because for procurement, we have an activity for the procurement activity cost pool, we have an estimated cost of $370,000, and our cost driver is number of purchase orders. So we've got 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 12 more is 20,000. We divided 370,000 divided by 20,000 purchase orders, and we came up with a rate of $18.50 per purchase order as our activity rate. So this question is not asking us about activity rates. It wants to know what is the cost per unit using ABC activity-based costing for these 3 products: disk drives, tape drives, and wire drives. Okay, so it's very, very important that we understand that we're going to have to, even though it's not asking us for the activity rate for each of these items, we have to be able to calculate that. Okay, so I showed you how to do one. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen the other video, that you watch it prior to watching this video. Okay, because I'm not going to go through and show you how I came up with how we came up with all of those 5 activity rates. Well, actually, in a way I am, because I'm going to flip this paper over and I'm going to show you how we did it, essentially. See, I did the same thing here, activity cost pools. That's a cost driver. And then what we did was we added up each one of these. And then we took the activity cost, again, 370 over 20,000. That 20,000 is right here. 1850. For B, that was scheduling. We came up with a rate of 200. 8065 for C. 16,222 for D, and $75 for E. E was production based upon machine hours. Okay, so these are our rates. All right. So what I'm going to do, let's see here. I'm actually going to jot these down on a separate piece of paper off camera. Let's see. Procurement was 1850. And let's see, scheduling was 200. Materials handling was 8065. Let's see here. Product development was a whopping 16,222. And production was $75 per machine hour. Okay, so that also gave you time to hopefully make a screenshot and save that over to the side. And now I'm going to switch the paper back over. And let's get this situated here. Bear with me one moment. Try to make it where we can see everything. Okay, and then I'm going to write over here our procurement rate is $18.50. Make that a little bit bigger so we can see that that's a 1. $18.50 per purchase order. Let's see here, scheduling. Let's see, what did I have for that? $200. What else? Let's see here, materials handling. I'm going to abbreviate this. Materials handling. And we had $80.65. Then we had product development, and we said that that rate was $16,222 per engineering change. And then finally, just regular old production was $75 per machine hour. Okay, so we're going to need all 5 of these figures here. We just don't have time to really go back through and do that again. So so do follow along as best you can. Okay, so now we need to be careful here. It says, what is the cost per unit? I want to add a word here, because we don't have enough information to actually answer this question, but we can determine what the overhead cost applied per unit is using activity-based costing for these. Now you need to really pay attention here, because this is a lot and it's fun, but it's not necessarily a lot of fun. So the first item that they're going to ask us for are disk drives. Okay, and so what we're gonna definitely need our calculator, and I'll be moving this calculator around quite a bit. So what we would say is, here are our disk drives right here, and we had 4,000 purchase orders. So 4,000 purchase orders times our $18.50 per purchase order times $18.50 equals $74,000. So for disk drives, which is A, we've got, what did we have? We had 4,000 times 1850, and that's going to give us 74,000, all right, divided by the number of units, divided by 2,000 units, equals $37. So I'm going to put the 2,000 units here, equals 37. Okay. Now this is one of 5 parts of overhead. 37 is not our answer. It's just one of the ingredients to our answer. Okay. We also need to look at the number of production orders, and we had 300 of those. and we're going to use this rate right here. So I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to say for disk drives we had 300 300 production orders times a $200 rate. This is for scheduling. Okay. Times 200. That's going to give us 60,000, and we're going to divide this 60,000 by the same 2,000. Well, I made a mistake there. That was 60,000 divided by 2,000. Okay. Let's see here. So 300 times 200 equals 60,000 divided by 2,000. Our denominator is going to be the same for each component of the overhead cost. That's going to be 30. Then we're going to move over here to materials handling and number of moves. Materials handling, we have a rate of 80.65, 80.65 times 1,400. That's our number of moves. Let's see, got to start over on that one too. 80.65 times 1,400 moves. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to go 1,400 first times the activity rate of 80.65, and that is going to give us $112,910 divided by 2,000. So 56.46. We'll just go with that. Okay. And we have to do this a couple more times just to get the cost for disk drives, and that may be all we have time for in this video. So let's see what else. Let me move this right over here. I think it'll get out of the way a little bit. Okay, so we also have production development at $16,222 per engineering move, and we're going to multiply that figure times 10 because we had 10 engineering moves. So divided by the number of units, 2,000, 8111. Okay, and then we have one more part of this for disk drives. And let's see here, what do we have? We have production at $75 per machine hour, and for disk drives we had 2,000 hours. So 2,000 hours times a rate of $75 gives us $150,000. Divided by the same 2,000. 75. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add all of these 5 components of overhead. Now we've already got this 75 here, so I'm going to leave it, it's on the calculator, and I'm going to go backwards. 75 plus 8111 plus 56.46 for materials handling, plus $30 for scheduling per unit, plus where was it? $37 for procurement, and all of these figures together are going to give us a total overhead cost per unit of $279.57. And I want to emphasize that this is strictly for A. Strictly for A. All right, now, so let's see here. This video is already over 15 minutes. So we have our figure here, 279.57. That's for disk drives. What I want to do is I want to give you some check figures here, okay? Because we don't have time to go through all of this. So let me just write this down. I have calculated this on a separate piece of paper, and then I'm going to, so let's see, B, disk drives. Now what I'm giving you here is the final answer, okay? And then I'm going to show you how I got to that. So 232.69, and then C for the wire drives, our answer is going to be $744.06. This is applied overhead per unit for these three figures, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for a few seconds, and I want you to take a screenshot, whatever it is that you like to do, okay? And you saw the video on how we got to here. I'm giving you the answer for B and C, okay? And what I would encourage you to do is use these figures. Look at what I did to get each one of these components here: $37, $30, $56.46, $81.11, and $75, and all of those together come up to $279.57. Now you're going to be using different numbers, okay? But you're going to come up with $232.69 and $744.06. Okay, so these are the figures that you should come up with. At this time, I'm going to pause for a few seconds so that you can stop the video, because what I'm going to also do in a moment is I'm going to flip this paper over and I'm going to let you see the work that I did to get to these two answers. That way, if whenever you practice, okay, when you practice, you don't come up with these figures, you can watch the last few seconds of the video, see how I did it, take a screenshot, whatever it is you feel like you need to do. So I'm going to give it about 5 seconds starting now. All right, this time I'm going to turn the sheet over. Yeah, I say that. Where's my stuff? Here it is. Okay, so let's look at disk drives first. There's the $232.69. Go ahead and take a screenshot. I've labeled the 5 cost pools, and I put a check mark by the rates. Let me just put a couple zeros there to indicate that that is $150 even. Okay, so here's where I did the addition of those figures. Now I'm going to move the paper so you can see how we came up with the answer for the wire drives. It looks like it says wine drives, but that's not what I mean. I mean wire drives. And we go through these same 5 steps, and we're going to come up with $744.06. All right, that's it for this video.